What is going on, YouTube people? Well, I was wrong. I got this one wrong. And as much as it pains me to say it, PSA was right. What are we talking about? The Bobby Witt PSA 4 that I thought was damaged between scanning and grading. It appears that was not the case. Posted that video on Thursday last week. Some people pointed some things out in the comments. I relooked at some stuff, and now I see what they are seeing. We're going to walk through a couple things here really quickly. And hopefully, there's something I would like to ultimately see come out of this that could have avoided a lot of this nonsense. We'll talk about that as well. So let's go ahead and dive into this really quick. For those that need a quick little catch up, I got a PSA 4 Bobby Witt Mojo Refractor back from PSA that I submitted. I was very confused why I got the 4, and then it had this monster crease on the back that you see on the left-hand side. Myself, I was questioning how the hell would I have ever missed that and sent it in that way. So I sent it back to PSA and requested the raw card images. They sent them to me and said, hey, we could see the crease. I couldn't at first glance and second glance and third glance and fourth glance. I didn't see it because it is very hard to see. And I think what ultimately, and I'll tip off the few things that brought me to it. I think what it ultimately comes down to is the way that it is being scanned. Your pre-scanned images are in a card, or they scan them in your card saver. So it is being scanned flat on a flatbed, pushed down flat right up against the scanner. In the slab scan, because this here is the scan from the PSA website, one, it's a high-res scan, and two, because it's in the slab, it sits a little bit off the scanner. You can only get it so flat, so that means it catches a bunch of light, and it's not being pushed down into the scanner. So I'm guessing that's why it looks so much more prominent on this scan versus the other one. I also think the high-res has something to do with it. We'll talk about more of that towards the end. So what tipped me off here, and this is really hard to see. If I zoom in on this too much, it's going to get too blurry, so I got to stay a little bit pulled out on it, but this is a snip of the section of the card where you could see it most prominently. So the two things that someone pointed out, and then I saw it right away once someone pointed it out, is above the word trademarks right here. The TR and the KS. Right above the TR, you could see this little white slash line that my mouse is right underneath. So there's a little white slash line there, and then right above the KS, there's a little slash mark there. It doesn't look like a crease, it looks like discoloration. So you can kind of see this looks grayish, and then there's like a little white mark there and a white mark there. It's a little bit more noticeable here on the KS. These line up perfectly when you come over here, right above the T. You could see that same crease, and then right above the KS, you could see that right there. Now, obviously on this, it's a lot easier to see. It's a lot more clear. Here, not so much. That was the ones that really jumped it out to me. The other thing that I could see, and it goes to the same thing, you're really looking more for discoloration than you are the crease because the way it's being scanned. Right here and right here, and I didn't notice this initially. This took a while for me to kind of catch on to. This little section right here, you could see that white discoloration cutting through the yellow. It is very hard to see. And then right there as well, matches up with this crease right here on the left side, and then this crease right here that goes to the TX. Now, on this image, you can only see it go about halfway up, and then it kind of fades out. You can see it gets like it turns darker as it heads to the TX. But it lines up, this white line and this white line line up perfectly with where the crease is here. Once again, very hard to see that. if I need to do all this zoom enhance nonsense to see I'll zoom out on this one on the left, what is ultimately a monster crease, then I think the improvement of this pre-scanned images should be better. And that's ultimately what I would like to see the takeaway of this be, is PSA improve the quality of the pre-scanned images if you can, because it could have avoided a whole lot of nonsense. Now, as I said in the previous video, luckily this is about a $100 card. I still have no idea how I missed this. I mean, we all make mistakes. It just comes down to as simple as that. I don't believe that it was damaged in shipping or anything like that, because this card was in the middle of I looked at the submission paper. This card was in the middle of the pile, so it's not like it was on the top or the bottom and something could have happened there. So I just must have clearly missed this. If you want to go full tinfoil hat, you could say maybe it got damaged from the time they opened the package to the time it got scanned. I guess, sure, maybe, but most likely I just ended up missing this on the card rushing through the order, I guess. As I've talked about in previous videos, I will make a concerted effort to show the front and backs of cards on camera when I'm doing my submission preview videos. Usually I just show the fronts and just kind of flip through them and show off each card and talk about it briefly. I never flip it around and look at the back on those videos. Obviously I do when looking over cards for grading. Well, apparently not this one. So I will make an effort for that, because if I would have had it on video and I could see the crease, then that I could have gone back and looked at the video and just been like, oh dummy, you missed it. Or in all honesty, someone in the comments probably would have called it out, and the card would have never gotten shipped off that way. Or even if it got missed all through that, I could have went back and reviewed the video and had the peace of mind of knowing, like, no, they didn't screw anything up, this is on me. Or if it looked clean in the video, and because when I record those videos, I immediately package them up and put them in the USPS flat rate box, and off they go the next day. That's the recording of the video is one of the last things that I do before I actually package it up and send them out. I print off all the paperwork, I do the video, they get bundled up, and then it goes straight in the box with the paperwork and off to PSA immediately. I don't do the video and then the cards sit around for like a week or anything crazy like that. So that would have at least been like, well, it was clean when it left my hands last, and then maybe I could have sent that to PSA, but I don't know if they would accept that or not. Me videoing it and me recommending you all to video your submissions is just more for your own sake. So you could go back and look and before you throw a hissy fit about something and know, oh, wait, that was already on there, I just missed it, or something along those lines. But that will be something that I end up changing my process on in regards to how I kind of do this stuff. But like I said, it's very hard to see, but once the marks above the trademark were the ones that really tipped it off to me, because they line up perfectly with the creased ones. And then I had a hell of a time seeing this initially, but now I am, and it's kind of like one of those things, like once you see it, now my eye goes straight to it every time I look at the card. So is what it is. I missed it. I made a mistake. That's what we do. If you make a mistake, you own it, you move on. So does not appear to be PSA's fault. This was my own idiocy on this one for just straight up missing it on the card before I sent it in. It happens. We get in a hurry. We don't look at things completely. Now I have a nice little PSA 4 Bobby Witt to add to the Island of Misfit Toys collection that I have going. I never know what to do with random low-graded cards that I get back. Like I have like a Julio Rodriguez Topps update in like a PSA 7, and then I have another Julio in like a PSA 8. I have that. I still have that catcher prospect card that was a 6 that regraded a 10. I still have that. It's the Island of Misfit Toys from Rudolph and the Red-Nosed Reindeer. What are you gonna do? So I guess I'll just keep. It'll be my little side collection, my side PC of Misfit Toy slabs. So, but that's it. My bad on this one. My bad on this one. Like I said, PSA, I think they got this one right. That's all I got for you, boys and girls. Curious for your thoughts and comments, as always, down below. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.